CEO of My Side Community Impact Network, and we are thrilled to welcome all of you here today for the opening of the Campbell Street Apartments, which has been a dream of ours for several years, and lots of people, some of whom you'll hear from today. So we are just thrilled. This is truly and for the city of Detroit and our residents. Like every affordable housing development in the city, this building represents a lot more than just bricks and mortar. This is an example of the community's vision made manifest, and that is a vision that every family in our community has access to stable housing. And more than that, for the families who live here, it represents hope and a brighter future. And it's just 40 families, but 40 families is a lot. 30 or 40 years. So Campbell Street Apartments is that every person who lives here has gotten from Mishta and the city, no resident who lives here will pay more than 30% of their income. What I understand is that for our families, that is an absolute game changer. That frees them up. And that's something that 51% of Detroiters struggle to do because they are housing burdened in this city. The other thing that is fantastic about this development, Yorktown Station, residents in this building have access to at least 4 excellent schools. The Detroit WIC office that is in the base services and amenities right across the street, city, some of whom I want to have you hear from this morning. And it's their commitment to My Side's mission and this vision to make affordable housing available for every Detroiter that is so deeply appreciated. And with that, I want to thank them, and just remember to thank them as they each come up. But first, I'd like to welcome our Deputy Mayor, Malia Howard, to say a few words and kick us off.
Great morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. DeFore. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am so super excited to be here. I love ribbon cuttings, and for this neighborhood, this is the East Chad-Seconda neighborhood. This is an amazing opportunity and a benefit for the residents of this community, on top of actually, obviously the residents of this city. So I am truly honored to be here. This is always such a monumental moment because as a young adult, I had 2 children and we lived on Seward in Midtown. And so we had a 2-bedroom apartment. And for some people, they're like, oh, that's normal. It's not, right? A 2-bedroom, 2 full bathroom apartment in the early 2000s and late 90s was not normal, right? I was able to live there for a few years before I transitioned back to my childhood home. And being able to have affordable housing when I was so young, with 2 kids, raising 2 kids, was monumental. I worked in retail, and back then retail didn't pay much, so I was able to provide for my family and have a car with a car note, right? So a car with a car note and living in Midtown in a 2-bedroom, that meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to my kids, right? Because they could have their own room and they can grow and play. So what you're offering today is exceptional, and it's going to really open up and expand for more folks who have families to be able to live in a safe and secure environment to raise their families. So to you, I salute you, sir. So thank you. As always, I am off script. But today we celebrate the brand new opening of a 70-unit building, 40 units of which are deeply affordable, and all, again, ensuring that all units are no more than 30% of someone's income. And that is critical right there because to your point, right, when I was living on Seward, I was at Wayne State. Again, car note, 2 kids, can pay rent, buy groceries. That means a lot working in retail. This means a lot to people. And we're on Michigan Avenue. So the folks who live here are actually going to get to see and participate in all of the redevelopment that is happening along this corridor and be able to, if need be, catch the bus, right? Because transit is moving along around here in the city. So be able to catch the bus, be able to use a MoGo bike, be able to participate fully in this community, especially if they're new to this community. And again, we cannot forget the phenomenal grocery store down the street, for which I'm about to go to when I leave here. But in saying all of that, I want to thank you, Mr. DeFore, Mishta, Eagle, PNC Bank, for really taking an opportunity to strongly commit and invest in the city, commit and invest in the residents of this neighborhood and this city, because without you all actually doing these projects, we wouldn't have these opportunities for our residents. And so I just thank you for that. So thank you. Again. And lastly, you know, this is the thing I love to lead off with. We are One Detroit, and you are literally exemplifying why we are One Detroit. So thank you, sir. Oh, forgive me. I would love to introduce to you our honorable councilwoman, Santiago Romero. This is her district. We are in District 6, and she is always a delight and pleasure to be around. So if you don't know her, please get to know her, and her social media is prolific. So please follow her as well.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, Junior. We're almost there. Since being in office, affordable housing has been one of my top priorities. We have seen a lot of new housing development projects opening up in downtown, Corktown, Midtown, but we know this is needed across the city. I grew up here in Chatsey-Condon. I grew up on Tarnow-McGraw to a single mother in poverty. We used WIC. When I was in college, I used my bridge card. I deeply understand how services can really help people live their lives with dignity as we try to make it every single day. And I'm so incredibly happy to be here to support the work of my side and hear the opening of Campbell Street Apartments. And happy to share that we played a small role here. While we're building new units that are accessible to families, I was able to invest $300,000 of ARPA money to make sure that all the units are furnished. So not only are families receiving the opportunity to have a safe, reliable home, they also are walking into a fully furnished apartment to be able to feel the love and care that they deserve. It has been mentioned that the units here will be provided at no more than people's 30% of their income. And really, this is a project that shows what is possible when we come together across industries and sectors to respond to the issues that our families are dealing with, which truly are not a one-size-fits-all approach. As has been noted, this is an incredible site to be on. As Council continues to invest in transits, I have big, beautiful visions of what we can do to connect Dearborn and Detroit. There is so much more that we can do here in our neighborhood, and I'm excited to be a part of that new chapter of ours. And thank you again to Sean, the entire My Side community, to our Mayor's Administration, Mishta, Eagle, Detroit Wayne County, Port Authority, PNC. Again, thank you to all of our partners for making this happen. And I believe now it is my turn to turn it over to Jason Friedman.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here and to celebrate with everybody today. I'm going to be honest, I normally get frustrated because the mayor says everything that I was about to say, and Sean and Malia and the councilwoman just did the same thing. So I'm going to try to not repeat everything, but for the first, I really want to welcome all the new residents and families that are going to be able to live in this beautiful building. Congratulations, it's great for you. So excited to see that for everybody. Next, I want to congratulate My Side and their whole team, Sean, Janae. They worked so hard to make this difficult project happen. I know you guys saw all the activity on the site and have an idea of how difficult it was, but that was really just the tip of the iceberg. So it's great to see it actually opening today. We're really excited about that. So this is an $18 million investment in permanent supportive housing that is much needed. These 40 units are going to really benefit from all the services that My Side and their partners provide right across the street. And everybody talked about, you know, the Michigan Avenue corridor, the transit opportunities, the shopping, the services, the proximity, all the things that are happening in Corktown. There's already so many great things here with the schools and so many things that you can walk to. So this is like the perfect spot for this project. So we're really great, and we're really happy to see that. So the we talked about the 30% vouchers, which is going to make this accessible to so many other people and make their lives so much easier, and to focus on things like health and their everyday needs. So we're really happy to see that. So this project builds on the city's recent benchmark of hitting $1.3 billion. So in affordable housing investment, and really what we're focusing on is doing that in the neighborhood. So it's not just downtown, it's not just midtown, it's throughout the city, it's in the neighborhoods where people already live, where people want to continue to live and want to have access to those same services that are in the neighborhoods that are perceived to normally get it. We want to spread that throughout the entire city. So we're really happy to see that happen. And I want to thank the many partners that came together to make this project happen. So the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, the Detroit Wayne County Port Authority, and the financing from PNC. Wouldn't have happened without all these partners. But I also want to thank my coworkers at the City of Detroit that have worked behind the scenes for like 3 years every day to make this project happen. So Rebecca LeBeau, Larry Katrinar, Naomi Beasley, Michael Neal, DeMarco Ansari, Michelle Lee, Deandra Gourlay, Josh Bales, they all spent a crazy amount of time on this project. So we're all so happy to see it happen. One of my team's main contributions to the project was identifying the funding to rebuild the infrastructure to support it. So one of the parts of that infrastructure is the alley, and so the alley is going to connect us to phase 2. So 32 more units are going to be coming, hopefully within about 19 months. So hopefully we'll be back soon. For another ribbon cutting, so we're excited about that. So welcome again to the new residents, and next I'd like to bring up our great partner, Amy Hovey, the leader of the Michigan State Housing Development Authority.
I am so happy to be here this morning. I don't get the opportunity to do these enough, but I did have the opportunity to be here for the groundbreaking. And it was like in a tent, and I feel like it was bad weather, and now we have sunshine. I really just want to say thank you. At MSHDA, we work really hard to advocate for funding from both the federal and the state government to address our housing shortage in the state. And we're still about 140,000 units short of where we need to be today. But we're working really hard. In fact, at MSHDA, over this last year, we've invested over $2.1 billion in the production of housing across the state. But we could not do that without great partners. And I think you've heard from some great partners today, and we'll hear from some additional partners. This is hard to do. It's hard to do for lots and lots of reasons. Putting the financing together is difficult. Building in an urban setting where there's environmental issues is difficult. Trying to serve the most vulnerable population is difficult. But everyone has worked together and persevered. And Jason, when you say it's been 3 years, I think that's it, right? Because these are very hard to put together. We could not do it without everyone's dedication and persistence in sticking with a project to make it happen. Right now, we're sitting where 40 families are going to have reliable, safe, stable housing situations. That's a big deal. Only having to pay 30% of your income for housing is foundational to change. And it's very hard to do. I'm thankful that we could be a part of it at MSHDA with providing funding through our low-income housing tax credits of close to $15 million, as well as providing some of those housing choice voucher unit vouchers so that people can stay and have an affordable place to live. We're not done. Lots more work to be had here in Detroit. Always happy to be here. I love how the council and the administration in Detroit work hand in hand to make this possible. Just another shout out to the new policy that they passed for administratively approved payment in lieu of taxes. That's almost unheard of. And a lot of different communities, the council and the administration don't work so closely together, which makes it very difficult to get housing done. In Detroit, They are making it happen. We're happy to be a part of this, and I can't wait to be here for phase 2. Thank you.
Good afternoon, or I guess it is afternoon now, almost. I'm Carrie Geyer with Eagle, and I just want to say, you keep hearing the same thing from all of us. We are so excited to have been a part of this project and to be standing here with all of these amazing partners. This project is exactly what brownfield redevelopment is all about. When we look at funding projects, when Eagle's looking at putting funding into a brownfield project, the things we look at is what's the social impact, what's the economic impact, and what's the environmental impact. And this project, it blows all of it away. It's got all the pieces. And we don't always have that, but this project has that. We're taking a contaminated property that sat here vacant for 30 years, taking care of the contamination, putting it back into productive use. This used to be a site that dated back to activities to the 1800s, where there was rubber vulcanizing, there's various uses, gas stations, all kinds of things. There's environmental problems in the soil, but I don't know if any of you were here when they were digging the hole, but they dug to China. I mean, it was like basically from property line to property line, anywhere from 8 to 18 feet deep. We hauled it all away. And this is now a safe property for its use. And, we provided $1 million to do that work. And it paved the way for the safe reuse of the property. So this is what we do. These are the projects we love, and we look forward to participating in phase 2, where we are committing another $1 million to the work over there. So I want to just say thanks to everybody here for participating. A big shout out to my staff person, Sarah Venner, who has done a ton of work to shepherd it from Eagle's side of things. She's amazing. And I want to congratulate my side on a great project.
Thank you. So you've heard from a lot of our public partners that help bring this project to life, but $18 million doesn't appear out of nowhere and isn't always available in the public coffers. And what's great about developments like this is it is a marriage between the private and the public sector. And we're so grateful to have PNC as a partner, providing the rest of the financing to make this project come to life. And so I want to bring Todd Crumreedy up to say a few words just about that support. So Todd, come on up.
Thank you, Sean. We were describing how difficult my name is to pronounce, and even I don't know how to pronounce it sometimes. So I am Todd Crumweed, Senior Vice President and Regional Manager of Originations for PNC's Multifamily Capital Group. We were honored to participate in the groundbreaking here in 2023, and super excited to be back for the grand opening. I mean, this is what it's all about. Years ago, it was everything was on paper and working with Janae and her team, and now we're here standing in a wonderful and impactful property that's going to go a long way and be such an instrumental factor in the community here. So PNC purchased the affordable housing tax credits, which equated to just over $7 million in tax credit equity investment to help facilitate some of the construction that you see here today. Providing critical capital to support the creation of affordable housing in Detroit reflects PNC's long-term support of neighborhood revitalization, education, and economic development in the city. All of us at PNC Bank are proud to have collaborated with my side, the city, MISHDA, Eagle, and others to help bring much-needed additional affordable units to the neighborhood. Congratulations to everybody involved, and thank you very much.
So last but not least, I want to bring up a very good friend of my side to talk about what this is really about. And you heard me say earlier that this is not just bricks and mortar. At the end of the day, this is really about people. And nobody exemplifies why we do this work and why it's so important more than Juanita, who is a resident or was a longtime resident in another one of my side's developments. But to share her story and talk about why home is so important and what that means, I think there's no better way to end before we cut the ribbon than hearing a little bit about her story. Juanita, would you come up?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. So I'll just get right into it. 20 years ago, my son and I moved into the Clark Apartments. It's right on Clark Street. And it was the first time in years that I felt like things were going to be okay. And that's because back in December of 2000, I lost 3 of my 4 children to a fire. And I'm sorry, it's a little emotional. After that, my sister and I, we did our best to raise our kids together, but the living situations that we were in, they were really dangerous. And so we knew we had to figure something out. So finally, in 2005, my sister and I found My Side Housing, and we both moved our families into our new home. And it really was, being with My Side was the first place after our loss that really came through for us. It was really a gift from God. And I know my babies would have been proud to have lived in our Clark apartment home because it really was beautiful. Even when life got hectic, when I lost a job or 2 or lost income, I never had to feel like I wasn't going to have a home. And My Side made that clear. They understood the problems that I was facing, and they looked out for us. So My Side is really a part of our roots. They're our person. And they're a big part of our story. So I really do want to thank you all for helping us, to get this far. After 18 years, almost 2 decades at the Clark Apartments, Jonathan and I, my son, we moved out. And although we were sad to go, we were excited to start a new chapter in our lives. So the Clark Apartments, it really was a beautiful place to stay. There was a park across the street. My son's schools were all within 5 minutes. And so it really was a gift to be there before we left. I made a scrapbook of all the wonderful memories that we made while we lived there. And I left it in the hopes that somebody would see it and understand, be able to gauge just how much My Side housing has changed our lives, affected us for the better. And I'm gonna try to get through this, okay. So, My Side got me out of a situation that I don't think I would have survived without them. I know that the folks who move in this building, the Campbell Street Apartments, they're gonna have their lives changed by the generosity and the support. So I do want to thank you so much, everybody, My Side, the sponsors, MISHA, Public Housing. Thank you for helping so many families find not just a place to live, but a place to call home. So My Side is our miracle, and I thank you, and I'm so sorry for crying.
You see what I'm talking about? And by the way, we absolutely cherish that scrapbook that you put together, which is, I believe, on the table back there if anybody wants to look at it. But this, again, just emphasizes why we do what we do and why the work of all of these folks that made this possible is so important. Lastly, before we cut the ribbon and do a photo op, I did want to also thank the staff at My Side who were responsible for the work that makes this building possible. People way smarter than me put together all the financing and all the applications. So Janae Mallet, who's sort of our brainchild, thank you for making it today. I think she lied to get out of jury duty so she could make sure to be here. Tim Thorland, who I think is here somewhere. Our finance team, Nathan Muzlakovich is not here. Michelle, our property folks, Ken, Natalie, Laura Santos. Jamie Wojan, who's on the support side, Tabitha, who is our construction manager. Too many people to name, but people who are truly responsible for this day. So thank you to all of them as well, and thank you all for being here. Let's cut this ribbon. Let's see. You want me to do it, or oh? I was going to say, can we get Deputy Mayor Howard maybe to cut the ribbon? Would you be? Yeah.
So we can get in a little bit tighter as much as you can. You got to be up here because you got to hold on to the ribbon. Can we shift the ribbon just a little bit this way? Yep, keep going. All right, now make it taut. There you go. You guys can shift back and forward though. Not there, perfect. All right, we're gonna just take one picture right here. Everybody smiling. Beautiful, beautiful. And is everybody ready for the ribbon to be cut? Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna do it on 3. Okay. 1, 2, and